Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with a daily technical update. This is Tuesday the 14th of May and today we'll start with Apple that jumped higher yesterday after some rumors or announcement that they are implementing more AI into their smartphones or apps or whatever. I don't really care about why the market is moving, so I don't pay too much attention to those details. However, Apple is in a after this jump a couple of weeks ago, this gap up here, there's now potential up to around 190 where we have a resistance. We are above the cloud, we are above the RSI 60 threshold, meaning we are in a positive sentiment. On the weekly chart, yes, we are above the cloud. RSI is in a negative sentiment actually, so it could be struggling a little bit. However, there we are above the cloud. We are above all moving averages, so I think the RSI will be dragged higher to at least test the 60 threshold, but maybe it could be halted everything with the Apple share price around 190. Moving on to the broader market, S&P 500, that was basically unchanged yesterday. But it is about the cloud. We are in a positive sentiment. There is potential up to at least testing the previous all-time high here, just below 52.65. If it closes above, well, then there's potential to push to 5400. Nasdaq still struggling a little bit. The RSI is still below 60, as you can see here, 59.49. We are above the cloud, but it's really struggling for upside momentum. Let's see if we can get it in the next few days. Moving on to Europe, we have the EUROSTOXX 50 trading around the 786 retracement of this sell-off we saw here in March, April. After breaking this range trading behavior, well, we are actually in a bullish trend with positive sentiment. Despite having divergence, as you can see here, then we are likely to see EUROSTOXX 50 to test previous all-time highs. But let's see, it could actually move even higher. So if we could move above that level, close above, well, that gives potential up to around 5200. DAX has been very strong lately, but a little bit of a correction is kicking in now. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it dipping down to around 18,560, maybe even 18,500. But we are in a bullish trend. There is now a bit of divergence here. As you can see, these peak values here on RSI are lower than over here, but the market is higher. So now we have a little bit of a divergence indicating exhaustion of the trend, but it doesn't mean that it is turning around just yet. It's just a warning, and we could push higher towards the 19,000. It's not unlikely, but let's see. If it takes out the all-time high there, well, then that's what is likely to occur. The AX Amsterdam stalling a little bit, also a little bit of correction here, also divergence on the RSI, but I think we could see it pushing higher towards 1917, 1922, possibly even higher. Very strong uptrend at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of correction and then another push higher. If it drops back below 894, well, then I would put this index into a neutral position. The CAC 40 got rejected at its all-time highs. Couldn't really break it, but we are in a positive sentiment. There's no divergence. We can remove this one because it was actually reset when it closed below 40 threshold here a few weeks ago. If it does close above the all-time high at 8,254, well, then there's potential up to 8,400, maybe even higher. Finally, on the SMI, we have it's just trading the index trading just below its all-time high. No divergence on the RSI, which is in a positive sentiment. We should see a push higher on the Swiss market. Moving on to FX, we have euro dollar that is a little bit indecisive, as we talked about yesterday, trying to push up towards the 108.13 again, 108. 108 and a quarter, where we have the 786 retracement, but we have the 100 moving average coming down, kind of putting a lid over, and we are still below the two moving averages, the 55 and the 200. They're both declining. We closed below yesterday, and so there is actually quite a strong resistance on the upside, and RSI is still in negative sentiment. So I think we will see your dollar resuming downtrend fairly shortly. Cable also trying to push higher, but couldn't really, and losing steam, and I think it will also slowly start sliding lower. We have RSI in a negative sentiment with no divergence, indicating we'd like to see lower lows. The yen pairs are moving higher across the board. We have the dollar yen slowly crawling higher towards the 61.8 retracement on 157. There's still potential up to around 158.5, according to the RSI. That is in positive sentiment with no divergence, and now also back above 60 threshold. Euro yen also pushing higher, currently testing the 61.8 retracement at 168.75. It should be possible for it to move up to 170. That is at least what the RSI is telling me. There's no divergence on the RSI, and we are under positive sentiment, so that is indicating that the Aussie yen has broken above the 61.8 retracement. It paused a little bit, got rejected there Friday, but it broke above yesterday and is continuing. So around 104, I think we will see Aussie yen moving in the coming days. Sterling yen stalling a little bit, but it does have potential higher also. Look out for what is happening at the 61.8 retracement at 197.10, but there should be potential up to around 198. But still, we could see some corrections, but the bottom reversal pattern there is still very much in play. So we have Aussie dollar moving sideways, and I think we will see that. We will see it moving between 65.50 and 66.50. Breakout from that level, that area is going to be key. We are above the cloud, as we can see here. We're also in a positive sentiment, indicating we could push higher, but I need a confirmation of that too before I call it. Dollar Canada also a little bit indecisive, just humming away here. I want to see a break of either the upper falling trend line or below 136.18. Euro Swiss, I think we will see a test of the 98.35 fairly shortly once again. We have the 55 moving average giving really good support there. If it turns around everything, which I don't believe it will happen, but again, you never know. We have a 96.75 around that level. There's some support you will see from over here. Yes, I know we did have that spike lower there to the next key strong support around 95, 50, 60 level, where we also had the 200 moving average coming up. But you can see all moving averages are rising, and now we also have the 100 crossing over the 200. So the underlying trend is bullish. Just need the RSI to be moving back and close above 60. Then I think we'll see a push towards the Euro Swiss resistance. Dollar Swiss not really doing much, just sideways here around the rising trend line. 90 is the key support. Finally, on the dollar index, not doing much either. 104.84 is the key. I think we will see it pushing higher, but if it does close below 104.84, well, then we could see a sell-off down to around 104. Gold can't really make its mind up. I mean, it closed Friday above minor resistance at 23.53, and actually established a little bit of a bullish trend, and also RSI got back above 60, so we should see it move higher. But yesterday's weakness is jeopardizing it a little bit. However, we have the all moving averages pointing higher, moving higher, and I think we will see it picking up pace again. If we get a push back above the 23.55, then I think we'll see a push up to around 2400, potentially higher. However, if it takes out 2300, well, then we could see a sell-off down to around 22.55, potentially all the way down to 2200. Silver has been front running more or less, and then now is dancing around D61.8 retracement at 28.35. It is in a bullish trend, positive sentiment, no divergence, and is likely to push higher towards the. It always reached D786 retracement at 29 actually with this spike up here, but it didn't get all the way out there. But I think we could still see that. If it starts sliding lower below 2770, I think we could see a little bit of a correction lower towards 2700. Looking at another precious metal, platinum, I have looked at it for some time. Again, pushing high. I mean, almost went vertical here over the past couple of weeks, and now trading around 1,000 and a change. As we can see, every single time it's been up there, it got hammered back down, got hammered back down there, got hammered back down there. Well, it'll also be hammered back down here. If it can stay above and actually close above 10.15, well, then there is potential for a push higher towards 1,300, 12.50, 11.25, 11.30. Going in the near future, but let's see if it can actually stay out there. I would be very cautious at least. Copper, we also need the weekly chart on copper, pushing higher, moving into towards the 490, 500 resistance area that actually is coming from way back, and it's really good idea to keep an eye on where market moved around. You see 490, 490, so that's where we are getting closer to. On the energy side, well, not much to say about oil at the moment, to be honest. It's sideways around the between the 80 level and 77 level, and I want to see a breakout of that for direction. It could be towards the 74 level, 75. We are in a negative sentiment, no divergence, and we are below the cloud. All the moving arrows are starting to turn around, so it looks fairly heavy. Brent crude oil, more or less same picture, obviously, below the cloud, but we have some strong support here around 80, 81. Finally, let's have a look at what happened. Cocoa totally collapsed, kicked in yesterday, 20% lower, could drop to around 6,500, 6,000 in this corrective area here. And as usual, a quick look at the US 10-year yield, not really doing much, so still 4.34. That is key to keep an eye on. Don't want to see it breaking below that or closing below that level. I don't think we'll see that, but let's see. All right, that's all for today. Have a nice day and happy trading.